Hey y'all, welcome back to Chatting with Coach Amy. It is an episode of me, myself, and Darlene. Hey Darlene!
Hello, Coach Amy.
I was thinking today on my walk, during the 2 seconds that I wasn't recording a Marco Polo, um, that you call me Coach Amy. I don't know that you ever call me Amy. You just
I don't,
you just talk to me like we just talk. And then by the way, you're
yeah,
frozen and it is the cutest thing ever. Uh, But you say Coach Amy, and I just don't. It's funny. I love it.
that's
So
so
why
funny.
can't
I
you
think,
do it anymore?
well, I don't, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think always Coach Amy in my head, unless it has something to do with Coach Amy. I think, I think, I think when I think about like you or a conversation that we're talking about, I think Amy. But then,
Yeah,
yeah, I do. That's funny.
it is so funny.
It is.
So
And we all
funny.
do it in my house too. It's either Miss Amy or Coach Amy. It's too funny.
What you bringing to me today?
I know. We were just saying right before we clicked the button that it's been a minute since we've done one of these.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of things that have been discussed recently, and I think I want to elaborate for the world
Okay.
on this side. So I re-listened to the Blooms Marco that you sent this morning,
Mm.
like 3 times. And then
Really?
I did. And then I had re-listened when I was cutting out part, like you had mentioned to the Blooms, you have on your Monday nights with us. Um, you had our normal teaching and questions, and then you brought some really good words because we are focusing on mindset, right?
Mhm.
And so I listened to that a couple times, that section, because I was trying to make it all pretty and stuff for the ladies. And this is a big deal. And I started thinking like, why? I wonder why. And we don't have to know why. That's just my personality, right? But
Yes,
why are
it
we,
is.
I do.
I'm like, who
It,
cares? Just fix it. And you're like, but why? And I'm like, doesn't matter. It
but I
does.
was like,
It
is
does.
it,
It does in some things. I'm not saying it doesn't.
yeah. But it's just like, what's this season? Like, I feel like there's a lot of ladies that are in this season of where mindset is such a big deal. And I don't know if we can pinpoint why, but it seems like I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's a season and maybe not in like your life, but in just the world right now, because it's not necessarily, we still talk about what we're fueling with, but the questions and the concerns and the heart cries that are coming to you aren't about S, E, and
S-E-F.
FP.
Yes. Yes.
They're not right now, you know? And so it just got me thinking more about that. And so one of the things I know that has come up before is outside voices that people like we surround ourselves with. So I don't know if you can talk about that some. It got me thinking about like we pick our church, right? And we stay at our church because they're like-minded people. And so if somebody was talking to us about our faith in that sense differently, that's not association necessarily, or they were trying to sway us or try to give us something else. So maybe if you could talk about when we're surrounded by people who aren't trim healthy
Mm.
or don't understand health, and maybe it's because they're not in the best space, but um, how to navigate that part of people and getting in here that what we're doing isn't the right way.
Yeah,
Because that can mess with all of us. Like we
for
start
sure.
thinking doubt and then the enemy. And so I don't, what do you have for me on that
Well,
one?
I think on that, just thinking on it at this very moment. Um, there has to, just like with a house, there has to be a solid foundation. Just like with our Christian walk, we need a solid foundation, then we get to build on it. If you're, in the Bible, it talks about that. If you build it
Mm,
on solid ground, you're good. If you got it on the rickety spaces, one bad thing, it's going to just all swoosh away. So, bringing it to our Trim Healthy journey, this is one reason why I require blooms to either do one-on-one or buds before they come into blooms. Because in blooms, we're building the framework, we're putting the windows in, we're painting it, we're putting in the granites and the beautiful things and
mm.
the window treatments, as Wes said one time, and I went, why do you just say that? The curtains. And then we can start moving in furniture. I mean, like it's a process. And then by the time you get all that done, you're ready to remodel, right? That's our trim healthy journey. And I think that the foundation, whether you do coaching with me or not, you still got to have a foundation of that SEFP, but there's so much more to that concrete mix, if you will. You got to know that what you're doing, trim healthy or whatever to better yourself, is the right thing for you. And sometimes there's no cut and dry answer. It's just that, like, yes, you could do this or this, and it would both be great, whatever. But you need to be convinced that that is what you need to do to be your best self. I know that Trim Healthy Mama is the answer for me, and it's the answer for most people if they'll just daggum do it. Um, but it is my foundation, is my why, and it is my why I'm doing it, what I'm doing it for, what is like. I know that for beyond a shadow of a doubt, 100%. My foundation of my knowledge of THM is good. My foundation of why I'm doing THM is good. And the fact that I have those two things equals my non-negotiable mindset that I'm just going to do it because it's the right thing to do for Amy. And I wish,
Mhm.
I mean, I say this all the time. There's a lot of things I put into this funny saying, but if I could put that in a pill and give it to people, I'd be a
Mhm.
bajillionaire. And I just hope people latch onto that and understand. Does that make sense what I said though?
It does. It does. And it's the storms, like you said, that come. And those storms can look different, right? They can look like
Mm,
friends and family. It can look like finances. It can look like um, children, stages of life with your children. It can look like parents, aging parents. It can
mm,
look like so many different things, those storms that come. And they're all different for all of us. So you were talking to us in Blooms this morning about those kinds of things, like that we still have to be able to take care of ourselves to weather those storms with.
right.
And so what you just said is perfect because that's the base. Once we know what we're supposed to be doing. And um it's just interesting to me that shift, that mindset that people, when you see it, of course it's amazing. And I usually cry every time, especially on the lives when somebody is just like, I get it.
See,
Yep. And then going
some
forward.
examples, real life of clients of mine that just I'm thinking of right now. And those of you that are listening, I bet you have experienced this. I have too. But one sweet, precious client had her little picnic packed, her little on plan lunch. I think she even went a mile further and got her snack together. They got to where they were going, plans changed. That was one little thing. Plans changed. She was upset, disappointed. She ended up eating a burger and 3 or 4 cookies. And I'm like, what? Your plans changed. It has your circumstance has nothing to do with how
Mhm.
you feel your body. That is, oh, that's some good stuff. My children are acting like wild heathens. It's time for them to go back to school. I'm going to go head first into Bluebell. That's ice cream over here in the SIP in the South. I know some of you up north might have it, but not everybody knows what that is. It's delicious ice cream. I agree, but it ain't going to solve your problem. And you're going to probably have a headache. And then you're going to have regret and disappointment in yourself. So you've compounded your problem of your children acting like heathens.
Mhm.
So how did that make things better? It didn't. There's so many other on-plan things you can do if you need an ice cream fix, just saying. Um, my husband, our communication isn't good. Things are getting rocky. I'm going to go to Wendy's and get the combo with the Frosty and the Coke. How exactly, explain to me, is that going to help your marriage get better? But we do it. And it's what
Mhm.
culture teaches. It's what's normal. It's what's portrayed on TV. All of that. And for years, I mean, that's how, I mean, that's very normal. All the things I said.
Yeah.
But me, when I have somebody across from me and they tell me that's what they did, I'm not trying to make them feel bad, but I'm going, but why? Like, why? That's my job, is to question and make you guys think things through. Why do you think that would be helpful? It's just because that's what we know. But doing what we knew got us to a place we didn't want to be. So we signed up with Coach Amy, and now we're thinking things different. So like go with me there. It's just so great when we just take a breath. We
Mm,
don't have to, as soon as something goes cuckoo, we don't have to make an instant decision. We don't have to react immediately. Those are for emergency situations, like somebody's choking. Like
mhm,
that's when we react quickly. But our kids acting like crazy. It's probably because you've been ignoring all the little baby things they've been doing and now it's compounded. So next time when the first offense happens, shut it down. You're the parent.
mm.
Jeez. Um, Marriage is rocky. That doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take some work to fix that. Probably both of y'all gonna have to get some stuff together with Jesus. you know. Um, Plans change. That's life. Ta-da! Why in the world do we as women think that everything's going to always be rainbows and sunshine? Like, I think we all know that it's not, but we have this false vision of what it's supposed to be like. And we are setting ourselves up for failure. We are setting ourselves up for disappointment when we could be, we did it's not personalities, temperaments. We did the temperament study. God bless my blooms. But it did help us so much. There's choleric, sanguine, melancholy, and phlegmatic. Okay. And I, because I'm choleric sanguine, someone that's phlegmatic, I'm like, come on, honey. Because they're like, whatever, it's fine. And there are some downsides to that, yes. But it's a beautiful temperament to have when dealing with things that can go not the way you expect them to. Because they're
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, that's fine. I will give you an example recently because I'm like, if I planned it this way, we gonna have it go that way, okay? Okay, so I'm working with there's 11 women and me, there's 12 of us. For one of my VIP experiences from my Blooms Tennessee retreat, okay? And so I'd already changed some stuff, bless, but it made it better. We were going to do the Country Music Hall of Fame. And I found that we, for the same dang price, we could do a private Nashville tour with like our own guide, and we can go see the murals and all this stuff. And so I asked them real quick, and they were like, "Yeah." So we did that, and it was amazing. We had so much fun. And then we were going to go to Category 10 to honky tonk line dance and eat supper. It used to be the Wild Horse Saloon. I wanted to see it redone. A little selfish of me. So we get off our little tour, and Darlene, I'm like, well, there's Category 10. Let's go eat some supper. Closed. Private events. Excuse me. What? And I'm looking at all these hungry 11 ladies, and I went, that's okay. We're going to go right down this block and we're going to go to Hard Rock Cafe. We might have to wait a minute, but they can seat us, and I know they can. And they were like, yes, ma'am. Do. We go into Hard Rock Cafe. Little hostess, I said, ma'am, so sorry, but I'm pivoting and I'm bringing 11 ladies plus myself to come eat. And do you have a table? And she goes, absolutely. Follow me. And we were seated immediately. Let me tell you, 6 year ago, Coach Amy, doing a retreat, I started crying.
Right. Panic just because you just, yeah.
And Nashville's very busy downtown. That's where I'm talking right here if you aren't following. But I had to pivot and I had to do it quickly. And all of them, because I did not panic, because some of them are melancholies, little worriers. They were probably scared out of their mind to even be down there with me. Okay. But I just took the bull by the horns calmly. I recalculated in my mind very quickly with a breath and went, this is what we're going to do. And they were like, okay. And they just followed me. And it was wonderful. We had a great time. We got to take these cool pictures. We got to see all these guitars and hats. And, it was so fun. But I'm telling you, I have grown in that because I've practiced a
Mm,
breath.
mm,
I don't do it all the time. Believe me, I don't. I still can fly off the handle. But I was the queen of losing her junk. I would lose it in a heartbeat. I look like an idiot, I am sure. I don't want to do that anymore, either on the inside or on the outside. But we panic constantly. Do you remember Rebecca, my client Gilbert? She's a psychiatrist, psychologist, something. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
She came on to Bloom's years ago talking about cortisol. talking about how so many of us are running around in our regular everyday life acting like a bear is chasing us. Everything freaks us out. Everything is an emergency. And just have that high cortisol, just constantly in panic mode. And she's like, stop. First of all, you're not allowing space for the Holy Spirit to help you. You're
Mm-mm.
also wrecking your adrenals because you're in constant cortisol craziness. So, anyway, all this to say, I just encourage you to take that breath. That one action, creating that neural pathway from panic, stop it. You're a grown person. Nobody's dying right here. How can I make this situation better? This tough situation. Our plans changed. It's flooding outside. You don't get to take a walk. Do it in the morning. It's going to be okay. I had to do that last night. I was irritated as all get out that I couldn't go take my walk. But I got to spend a little extra time with my boys watching. It's called Last Man Standing, Naked and Afraid. It's the best show ever. They're all naked and it's all blurred out. But it's so good. It's so good. I love sociology. You're probably not surprised with my job, but I love the idea of sociology and how people tick and like, no offense, but people from the North is different from people in the South. It's
Oh
interesting.
yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Well,
Your
it's
little
just in
Nevada
general.
self,
Yeah,
different.
that's the thing. The West Coast, very different than here. Like, yeah, very
Love the
different.
sociology of that show, but I got to watch it with my boys, and they're learning survival techniques. Even though these people are naked, it's all blurred. It's fine. It's all blurred. It's fine. But I mean, it's TV. Anyway, I got to do that, and then this morning I got to go, and I really think it helped cleared my mind. So it's beautiful things that happen. I could have got my panties all in a wad and be like, forget it. I'm not even going to work out this week. This is stupid. I didn't get to work out because it rained. That is crazy talk. You know. I'll let
But
you
we do,
talk.
we start
Sorry,
to
I've been running
spiral.
my mouth.
No, no, this is perfect. But we start to spiral. Like I'm completely guilty. Guilty as charged. I will
Me too,
spiral.
for
You
sure.
get okay, and so then you try to do something else, and then you're still thinking about the, it's just we just
Mm.
spiral. We spiral and spiral and spiral. And then that's when it starts affecting our health in other ways, like with our fuelings and stuff. So like when you were
Mhm.
talking the blooms this morning, it's like we still have to take care, we still have to eat, we still have to do all the things.
No
And
matter who hurt our feelings, no matter what the circumstances are, it has nothing to do with how you fuel your body. When you
right.
can make that distinction in your life, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine. And that's how I can eat a scoop of ice cream randomly, like I'll get a little small one maybe, randomly, maybe a couple times a year when I'm with my daughters. Because the next fueling, I'm going to be right back on plan because that one had no hold over me. None.
Nope.
No hold over me at all. But you have to get
You
there.
weren't running to it. You weren't running to it.
No,
You were in the
it
moment,
was
like
vitamin
with it.
P pleasure with my
Right.
daughters. Check. Was great. Half the time I don't
Right.
even finish the stuff. I'm like, do I want the rest of this? That is how that is food freedom.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. And being confident in that, being
Yeah, I'm in
confident in your
control.
choices. Yep.
Ice cream is not in control of me. How many of you could say blah 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 food is in control over me? It is. It is. If you can't go to such and such restaurant and not get the fried blah blah blah, that's crazy. Why does that, whatever it is, fill in the blank, have that much control over you? It shouldn't.
Right.
Just food.
Yeah.
God gave us food to nourish our bodies. Yes, nowadays we got some good, tasty stuff for sure. Not, not saying we don't, but it's meant to nourish your body. And if it's not blessing your body, majority of the time, there's a problem.
And that usually was what would cause me to spiral is when too, like it never helped the situation
Right.
because like you said, it's the
Makes it
feelings you
worse.
feel, right. The feelings you feel afterwards, but then the idea that the actual stuff is not doing well on your insides. Like, so it's like all physical, mental, yuck. That's really good. I really like that. And I liked how you talked about too that breath and then learning from what you did before, how it didn't work. And so what you want to
Mhm.
do the next time.
Yeah.
Like you can look back on a bad situation and be like, okay, that was did not end the way I wanted it
Oh
to.
man, and look, I do not like self-assessing. I've said that, I've admitted it very, very freely. I don't like it. back at church when they were like, do your spiritual gifts test. I'm like, Wes, can you do this, please? I do not. Do you just want to tell me what my love language is? Because I do not. I don't like doing it. But I have to press in and I have to assess. Okay, I did. While Wes and I were in Tennessee, Darlene, I got upset. I've shared with you about this. We now have a plan, don't we? See?
Yeah.
We do. I got upset about a certain
Yeah.
situation, and I'm like, Darlene, I talked it out with you. Sorry, I don't
Yeah.
know how to say this. Um, and I was like, okay, next time I need you to do this for me, please. And she
Yeah.
was like, check. And Wes is like, thank the Lord. But we have to, because if we want to improve, we have to, if we want to see change, we have to change. And, setting boundaries, guardrails, safety measures, whatever it is in place for certain situations, have a one-on-one client. We have identified that she gets in this funky headspace, wanting to eat all the things when one of her children pops up and
Yeah.
at her house. That's late, that's, flown the nest, whatever, comes back to visit. It's just a high intense situation. Sometimes things get awkward. Sometimes things get whatever. And I told her, I was like, well, does she say she's on her way or it's planned? She was like, oh, yeah. Like, it's rare that she just like out of the blue. And I'm like, okay, well, have some L-theanine, make sure you fueled, and get you some water and give yourself space to excuse yourself, go to the bathroom when you're starting to get overwhelmed. Nobody is going to know that you really didn't have to pee. I mean, maybe you do, but have a little escape just to take a breath during those tough situations. Give yourself that boundary. And she hasn't had to deal with that yet in our coaching, but I
Yeah.
know it's got to be coming soon now. But yeah, that L-theanine, it helps relax you. It will help take the edge off a little bit. All natural, not habit forming, blah blah blah. Been using it for years. All my family uses it. Make sure you're fueled so that your blood sugar doesn't go crazy and you don't want to there's some people don't want to fix food and other people's at their house. I don't know. I'm like, I gotta eat. Do you want something too? I'm sorry. And then also hydration. That's so helpful. It just kind of helps give you something to do in a stressful situation and give yourself space to excuse yourself, even if you're just going to the bathroom. That's okay. Diaphragmatic breathing, the best I've ever had is in the bathroom. you know?
Well, and it's amazing the tools, because like just that, like when you self-assess or when you're in coaching or when you have an accountability person or whatever it is, you go through this whole scenario like we just talked about. And now I have tools for, okay, this is what I'm going to do when that time comes. But I think what you said too, that key is taking that breath so that you can recall those things too.
Yep.
Because instead of running around like all scurrying, trying to panicking, right? That if you stop, then you're like, okay, now I know. I remember what we talked about. I remember what
What
I was
did
going to do
Jamie
this
say?
time. Yeah, like these are my steps. I'm not going to panic. I'm going to try
Be an
this.
adult
Yeah.
and own up to what you're doing and do better because there are and this is, I don't want to put a level of stress or burden, but others are watching.
Yeah.
They're watching. Your children are watching. And I have done an awful job at this. Awful. So I'm trying to fix it with the ones that are still here. But I want them to know how to deal with life stuff, you know? And
Yeah.
that's a big deal to me.
Yeah. No, it is for me too, because that's what we're doing, right? Like you have
We're
said
raising
this
them to be
countless
adults.
times. Right.
yeah.
And so they're not going to be children forever. And to give them the tools, because they watch all the things and you see
Yep.
it and then they do something and you're like, oh,
No, that's me.
that was
That's
probably
me.
me.
That was me.
Yeah, completely me.
Honey, I know you've seen me do that, but that's not what we need to do. You've convicted me. Thanks so much. I think God
Yeah.
gives us children for conviction and to keep us straight.
Yeah.
But bringing him into the conversation, he is, that's what I said earlier. We have to make space for him to work in our life. You are not, you are not required to do everything. Like the whole point is to use him to be better. And then the opposite of that is the enemy, Satan, whatever you want to call him. He is the master of confusion. And so he's seeing an opportunity, especially if you're a mother or an influencer in your family, your home, whatever, as a woman. We have such a wonderful opportunity to give these examples, but he knows what the level of influence that we have, and he's going to cause us to act irrationally. and he's going to do that. And so there's a lot of grit in my body and in my mind and my personality and whatever that I ain't giving him that, you know.
Because once you let him start sneaking in there, woof, he gets loud. He gets loud.
Yeah.
And so we don't want that
And then
for
we get
sure.
all like this sneak.
Yep.
And we should be bold.
Right. Right. And then everything's wrong. And it just continues.
Yeah.
So not letting an inch for sure is amazing. And then bringing, like when you said taking that breath, and you have shared with us too on just again, it's those tools. Like, what do we want to do? I wish I would have done this different. I wish I would have done this different. So if you have those self-assessment things laid out before you, then you're ready. You are, and you have to believe in yourself enough to know that you're ready for the next time
Yeah.
and that you can make that better choice, that you can make a choice that's going to honor God, honor your body, and then your faith, like all the people around you, like you said, that are watching, whomever that may be. Because that's how we want to walk our, like you said, our Christian walk too. It's there are people watching us.
Yeah.
And so we want
And it
to
all
be
ties together. All of
mhm.
it. Don't believe the lie that it's separate because it's not. Um,
No, and he's made you capable. Like he
yeah.
has.
You are
He's
a
given
whole
you.
person. You
Mhm.
are a whole person. Uh, Everything that I do, like I've been trying to separate Southern and Healthy work and my director of the THM coaching program work. And it's not easy to separate it like working hours or whatever because it just kind of all goes hand in hand. And God has given me a mind that I can manage that, which is good. But there's so much more to me than my Trim Healthy Mama world. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, and I'm a wife. Golly, don't forget that one. But it you are a whole person, and it all matters.
Yeah. There was one other thing that I was gonna. Oh, it was something else that you said about that. I think it ties into the thing that you talked about on Monday night. Is what's happening in my brain is because it's where do you want to be? Like see where you want to be, and then there's going to be things that you're going to have to do to get there, and knowing what those things are. So if you don't want to keep running around in circles and panicking and um,
And it's just a
not,
decision. It's a
mhm,
decision to try to do better.
yeah,
Like when I started trying to get myself together, I didn't know all these things. I know these things because of experience, and it took years for me to get here. So I just hope that people hear this and can implement something because I don't want to have gone through all that for nothing. I want the things that I've gone through. This is why I share them so openly is because I want these things that I've gone through to minister to people and help people not have to go through it as long or have to take as long to figure it out. And the methods that I use may not work for you, but it could spur you on to figuring out what works for you.
100%,
Mhm.
100%. I think that is completely accurate. And like you tell us all the time, you're strong. We're strong.
Yeah.
We are strong, even when we don't feel it inside. To know that we are and to keep moving forward, we are.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Yeah. In my resilience devotion, I shared that with my Tennessee retreat, and I don't know when this is going to air. When is this going to air? Do you know? Monday?
Monday.
Monday.
Hmm.
Okay. This is in the past, but it's going to be speaking in the future. But I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it Friday night in a free live event that I did. This resilience devotion. But one line in there that when I spoke this in front of that group of ladies at my Tennessee retreat, all of their faces reacted. This is it. This is the big profound statement. You have survived 100% of your hardest days. You have. You have survived them. And some of us have survived them well. Some of us are still, healing, and that's okay, but you've still survived them, which means that everything else that you're going to come up against, you can survive that too. You can. But the beautiful thing is you don't have to do it alone. You do not. Isn't that good?
Hmm.
Doesn't that take the burden off?
Yeah,
So good.
it's amazing. It's amazing. I love it.
I do
I'm
too.
excited for tomorrow night, even though this is going to be after that.
And
But
that's so strange. We're sorry.
yeah,
We hope you joined us, and if not, you can come to the next one
yeah, because I think
later.
it's going to be incredible. Yeah,
It'll be later.
it will be. And we'll be able to talk about it later too.
We
So,
will.
yeah, it'll be good. Well, I think that like I said, this idea of mindset, not idea, it's a thing, but of mindset and keeping our minds right. Um, it just makes such a big difference. It makes just a big difference in all the areas.
Yeah.
So, and I just think having that support system, having the people, like-minded people, because we've all been there and we can trust each other and,
It's so
and
important to have community.
it
So
is
important.
ridiculous. Like who knew really? I mean, I know it's a thing. It's been a thing for, eons in society, but it's like
Well, even
like-minded.
watching this Naked and Afraid thing, Darlene, they come to they change it up, which is cute, but they come together and they group these people together. The ones that I watch are like they're called legends, like they've been on a bunch of the things, and so them. I'm like, yes, like he's got to win. He's my favorite. One of the guys I've paid him to make Wes a knife, and so I'm like, we have stuff from him. He sent us all these things. But anyway, Matt Wright, by the way, love you so much. Um, so anyway, they put these people in these groups, and they either are going to work well together or they're not. True, but the
Yeah.
ones who form that friendship, you can see it. And then they might mix them up, and it's like, oh, how's she doing over there? Or how's he doing? Whatever. And it's so cool, and it's platonic. It's there's respect. There is looking out for each other's good, and that is something that I see in the communities that I've built. Melissa and Libby, mother daughter in Blooms, they sent me a note. I don't know if you saw it. I know you can see my messages, but they sent me a little note, just a little update because they haven't been like they usually are at the lives all the time, and they had a death in the family, and then one of them moved pretty far away, and they just wanted to remind me that they were still there and they loved me and they were not going anywhere, and they were so thankful, and I'm just like, wow, thank you so much. Like people, where do they live? Michigan? I had never met them. You know, like it's just so crazy what community does. And looking forward to the THM convention conference, whatever we end up calling it, that I get to be in charge of. Holy smokes! But it's just going to be so cool to watch that. I cannot wait for Serene and Pearl to experience this, because we have people that travel to their book signings, people that have come to their the conference they've spoke at, homeschool conference, and a couple other things, and just seeing that mixture of people from all walks of life, all states, maybe other countries come together for that trim healthy thing or that southern and healthy thing. It is so cool. It is so cool.
Yeah, because it's that commonality.
Yeah, you
It's
don't have
like,
to live on the same road to be friends.
nope. Mm-mm. And you don't have to explain anything. Like that's the most
No.
amazing part.
You do
It's like you
THM? What's your favorite cottage cheese? I mean, like, and they're just like, yes, I know exactly. Yes, let's talk about cottage cheese. It's so neat. It is so
yeah.
neat. Well, I think we've talked enough, but that was a good one, Darlene. Great. Good on you,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah, it's just I'm excited about it. I'm excited about August and I'm excited about getting better, improving my mindset on
Yeah.
all areas. Yeah.
That word better. Y'all are going to hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Better. We're coming. We're going to be better. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for being here. You want to tell them bye?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.